Hey, all my friends, pals, and confidants. So, still in North Carolina. That's Chimney Rock, that back there behind me. So kind of that one, Chimney Rock. You can't see the chimney part from here, but you can see that domed part. Anyways, I just went to the store, and on the way home, I was listening to. I'm gonna let you look at scenery while I talk. Listening to my favorite preacher, J.R. Farag in Hawaii, and he was talking about Joseph. You know Joseph. Mary's Joseph? Jesus is Joseph? Yeah, that guy. The one we never talk about. We talk about him one time a year. But think about it. Joseph was a real guy, a young guy, a really young guy. He was minding his own business, found the perfect, beautiful little Jewish girl, was going to marry her. And then something bad happens. She's pregnant. And he knows he didn't do it. He's still pure. And he thought she was too. What he didn't know right then was that she was. Can you imagine? And J.R. Farag brought this up. The only man in history whose wife gave birth and she was a virgin. Wow, a lot to take in. And I was thinking about Joseph. I always say when I get to heaven, I want to talk to Mary. After, a few centuries when the Catholics have all finished with her. And they get really disappointed when they find out she was just a woman, a really young woman who obeyed God. So, when I finish talking, well, maybe while I'm waiting to talk to Mary, I'll go talk to Joseph. I just want to know what was it like for him? Did he always have that in the back of his mind? Is this really God's kid? I mean, he had faith that it was, but he didn't know. How could he know? He's a human being. He wasn't a deity. He was just a regular guy that had to have faith that what Mary, his love of his life, was telling him was true. And the angels, 20 years, well, he wasn't alive. Well, we don't know when Joseph died. We just know that at the time of Jesus' death, he wasn't around to take care of Mary because Jesus asked John to do that. So we know that Jesus had died sometime before that. And back in those days, men didn't live to be very old, especially hardworking young men like a carpenter. Anyway, I was thinking what it must have been like to be Jesus's stepdaddy. But he loved him, I think. How could he not? But can you imagine the times when he's so stressed out, when that guy had him make all this stuff and then wouldn't pay him, and he comes home and he's like, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. And Jesus comes up and says, little 4-year-old, and says, yes, Daddy? I doubt that ever happened, but my hair. Funny little things might have happened along the way. And can you imagine that when they did happen and Mary or Joseph realized what they said or what they did or what he said, how funny that might have struck them? Me, with my sense of humor, I probably would have been laughing all the time because it just would have struck me so funny. And things like when the kids are all growing up and Jesus says to his younger brothers and sisters, you need to go do that. And they say, who do you think you are? Savior of the universe. No biggie. I just, how hard life must have been for them, young people growing up when all your family are whispering behind your back. Yeah, virgin. They did it. They just don't want to admit it. They made up this big old story. How hard that must have been. How hard it must have been for Joseph to know what he was responsible for. He was responsible for keeping God safe. Or at least in his mind, you know. Anyway, just something that was running through my mind, and a lesson from Grandma B. Love y'all. Have a wonderful evening as you look at this beautiful North Carolina skyline. Isn't that gorgeous? Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. What accent is that? I don't know. I'm from Florida. Anyway, I'm up here visiting my best friend that lives on the side of a mountain. Just so beautiful. Thank you, God.